Many older foreign guys are searching for younger Filipinas to be in a relationship, and it's certainly not uncommon for a man in his 60s to start a relationship with a 20-something-year-old Filipina with the view to sharing the rest of his life with her. Now, I'm not here to judge what two adults do, and that's certainly not my intent in this video. What I intend on doing is looking at this rather big and significant age gap from the perspective of the Filipina and what she may be left to deal with some years down the track. Now, I'm not questioning your or her motive or even love in this video, but looking at the reality that many older foreign guys and Filipinas simply don't want to face. And I'm not talking about family, friends and strangers staring and whispering or making sly comments. What I am talking about here is much heavier than that. You can be sure that I'll be pulling no punches here and calling it as I see it. So be sure to buckle up for one hell of a ride. What could a young Filipina possibly see in a man old enough to be her grandfather is what I usually hear from skeptics who clearly believe that any young Filipina in such a relationship can't possibly be in it for love and is looking for a man to provide for her and to get ahead in life. But you know what? As strange as it seems, while some may be this way, I've also known and spoken to Filipinas who have a genuine fondness or love for their much older husband. And when you see this close up, it really is very nice to see. Just because you or I can't see what she may see, don't believe it's not real for the people involved. Simply, there are stranger things in this world than that. But even for such a couple who may be in love, they can't escape the reality that comes with a man in his 60s or 70s and a woman in her 20s. Some may try and hide the elephant in the room and ignore the real questions that may affect your Filipina after you have departed this world. And I'm not just talking about the fact that you'll most likely die well before her, although it's part of it. Firstly, I'm talking about such a man that may have had all his children and not want any more, as he feels he may be getting on in life and not prepared to go through the whole baby and daddy stages again. That can certainly be very draining on an older man. But if such a man is with a much younger woman who has no child, can he truly expect that she'll be okay never bearing a child in her lifetime? And is that a fair thing to place upon such a young woman? Now let's be perfectly frank here. You know as I know, many Filipinas will sacrifice many things to achieve her goal to a better life, and like it or not, you're a big part of her achieving a better life. That doesn't mean she doesn't care for you or even love you, but she will sacrifice some things, and in doing so, will she be happy throughout the relationship, or will she become secretly or outwardly resentful towards you? I certainly believe that the resentment is a big possibility, because many women in general, and especially Filipinas, are very nurturing by nature and have grown up in big families where they always dreamed of having a big family themselves. And the truth here is that one can't blame her if she feels this way, which at some point she undoubtedly will. Whether or not she can overcome this will be up to the individual woman, and a man may have the attitude that she'll get over it. But deep-seated feelings are not so simple to overcome. I know some couples with such big age gaps have spoken about this very issue before they got married. And yes, both felt at the time that they could come to terms with not having a child together, which is usually much easier for the man than the younger Filipina. And in the end, for some couples, it can be devastating to the point where a lot of anger can come out in the Filipina because of the resentment that she feels. And of course, some couples may be lucky. They may just get through these tough years together with their relationship intact, but they will be the exception to the rule. Now, the second point to raise here is if the couple are happy to have a child or three, what does this mean for the Filipina as time goes on, and also for her child or children? Some people will tell you that age is no barrier in a relationship, but the undeniable fact is that we're all human and time will defeat us all eventually. When that time comes, none of us know. So I ask the question, is having children after the age of 60 with a 20-something-year-old Filipina who's most likely inexperienced in life fair on such a woman? Have we even considered the fact that as you get older, you're more likely to have more illnesses, and who knows, some that may require hospitalisation or could even be life-threatening? Have we considered the effect that you dying and leaving a woman, say in her 30s, with a couple of young children who may not even be teenagers yet, would have on the Filipina or her kids? How would she cope with two young children when she's been used to you looking after the family? And how would the kids cope emotionally losing their father at such a young age? I can tell you from personal experience, losing my father at age 20 was such a hard thing to deal with, and in some ways, I've never been the same person since. So imagine the effects this would have on a child, say 10 to 15 years old. I certainly wouldn't wish to put that on anyone. I know over the years I've spoken to many such men and couples, and I've seen the joy of having a family together be torn apart when the man becomes very ill or passes away. And it's truly devastating to watch from the sidelines and to see the heartache and hurt the Filipina and her kids are now going through. So the question I have for all those guys in a big age gap relationship is, when you sit back and think logically on this, do you feel it's fair on the Filipina knowing what inevitably will come in the future and possibly not too distant future? I would love to hear all respectful opinions and views on this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.